Number 3, Ashley Zappia.
Back here live at Firestone Stadium. MAC championship game about to get underway. The number 2 seed Miami Redhawks versus the number 6 seeded Central Michigan Chippewas. Hi everybody, Ian Tack alongside Joey Arrieta. Joey, Miami getting the job done this morning against Western Michigan and trying to avenge an early loss in this tournament against the Chippewas, who have been led by pitcher Kara Dornbos and just enough offense to get themselves in this title game.
Well, you got to hand it to Miami. They've come through the losers bracket, done a very good job, got an outstanding performance, probably the best performance of the tournament for Jessica Simpson in her effort in the circle. They got a key doubles that produced the runs that they needed for Simpson to jump out ahead and stay ahead over the Broncos. The Broncos just did not have the punch, the power, and the aggressiveness that we saw earlier in the tournament. And definitely the Redhawks really did an outstanding job, both offensively, defensively, and their pitching was excellent. And when you have all three elements of the game working for you, that spells victory.
Here's Miami's lineup coming into this one, 38-18 on the season. They'll lead things off with Christy Fehrenbach. Batting second will be Jordan McElroy. Batting third, Shannon McIntyre. Batting fourth, Daniela Torres. Batting fifth, Kayla Ledbetter. Batting sixth will be Allie Larrabee. Batting seventh will be Casey Drees. Batting eighth, Remy Edwards. And batting ninth will be Kylie McChesney. In the circle for Miami in this first of possibly 2 title games will be Jessica Simpson with a 29-13 record now, a 1.12 ERA. Had a complete game, 1-run performance in game 1 today where she struck out 9. Here's how Central Michigan's lineup will look. 30-25 on the season. Macy Merchant will lead things off for them. Brittany Harad will bat second. Molly Colton will bat third. Ashley Gilson will bat fourth for the Chippewas. Batting fifth will be the right fielder Brogan Darwin. Batting sixth will be the shortstop Carolyn Sexauer. Batting seventh will be the designated player, Rachel Hensel. Batting eighth will be
shortstop number 21, Caroline Sexauer.
Chelsea DeLamelere, and batting ninth will be Corey DeLamelere. In the circle for the Chippewas will be Kara Dornbos. 15-14 on the year, a 2.11 ERA, struck out 98 on the year, has looked absolutely phenomenal in this tournament. So Joey, everything in this season leads up to right now. Miami trying to force 2 games, Central Michigan trying to get the job done, and we will honor America here with a national anthem. All the pageantry out of the way, the excitement, about to get things going here, Joey. And out there on the field for Central Michigan, here's how their defense will look. Gilson in left, Merchant in center, Darwin in right, Chelsea DeLamelere at third, Sexauer at short, Horan at second, Coldren at first, Corey DeLamiere behind the plate, and then Kara Dornbos in the circle. These two teams met earlier this week, Thursday, a 1-0 win for Central Michigan, propelling them on to beating Western Michigan yesterday. Central Michigan hasn't had the bats, so to say, but they've gotten the job done with Dornbos in the circle.
Well, Dornbos has been just absolutely spectacular in this tournament, and there's no question that she has really controlled all of the games herself, and they have gotten just enough runs to rack up the wins coming into the championship game here. Obviously, Miami is, got their backs up against the wall because they've got to win this game to force that second game. And, of course, when you're Central Michigan, you're not going to relax. You want to try to get this done in one.
Again, Miami defeating Western Michigan earlier today, 3-1, knocking out Meredith Whitney and the defending tournament champ, so they can't do the back-to-back championship run. We will have a new champion, a new representative in the NCAA tournament in the MAC this season. Again, the winner of this one, if Central Michigan wins, they move on to the NCAA tournament. If it's Miami, they force another game here following this one, and then we'll have the deciding game, the whole enchilada, as they say there, Joey, to decide things here in the Mid-American Conference.
Well, it's an exciting thing. You've got a very, very historic program under the leadership of Margot Yonker. And you also have a very upstart Miami team that, they've been here before. 3 years ago, they won the championship with Jessica Simpson in the circle. You'll find that same situation later on today, with Simpson taking over into the circle with a 9-strikeout performance against the Broncos.
The first pitch in this title game is a ball on the outside, and breaking news from the Miami dugout. The Gnomes have to move.
We brought that up in the previous game. And
popped up, and that will land above us on the roof in 1-1 count.
Miami had these 3 little gnomes that they set outside their dugout, and apparently the umpire
said, "Not so fast, my friend."
The umpire said, this is in the field of play, so you need to remove them.
The 1-1 is outside, too, and it'll be Vic Sina behind the plate, Doug Zimmerman at first, and Mark Larson at third base for this possible one of 2 title games. Chopper, the second, picked up by Haran, and out number 1 here as Fehrenbach is retired on the 4-3 if you're keeping track at home, as Jordan McElroy will bat second. The center fielder, who had a fine game 1 today in helping Miami get into this title game.
Well, she got the key double in the 3rd inning that brought home Fehrenbach for the second run for Miami in the first game against the Broncos earlier today.
The 0-1. Flying right back at Dornbos. Throw over the first is in time. Again, a fine play from inside the circle, a theme we've seen throughout this tournament. Obviously some defensive gems, but the defense in the circle has just been phenomenal, no matter what team has been playing.
Well, the pitchers from each of these teams have really plugged up that middle, and you just really cannot get much past them. I think they've made most of the plays. I think there might have been 1 or 2 situations, but they have truly played and defended their position very well. This game kind of starts out exactly like Dornbos has, had the first few games, because she has allowed her defense to do all the work for her. She has been very, very effective in letting her team play behind her, and they've delivered good defense, solid defense, and that's why they're in this championship game.
1-1 count to McIntyre. The 1-1 pitch. Slapped down the third base line off of DeLamiere, and McIntyre is on with 1 out or 2 out here in the top of the first. Daniela Torres will step in for the Redhawks.
Well, DeLamiere tries to make the backhand of the play going down the line and just wasn't able to glove that ball, but give give credit to McIntyre. She posts they give it a base hit because that would have been a very difficult play to turn on the backhand by DeLamiere.
1-0 count on Torres. The pitch. 5-ball left field line. That will land in the seats. 1-1 the count. 220 to the left, 230 to center, 220 to the right here at Firestone Stadium. And maybe a little further than 230 right now after Jen Cheddar went over the wall for a catch in game 1 today. The 1-1. Fouled back, 1-2 the count.
We've had a lot of defensive gems in this game, but that by far was the most spectacular catch, one of the most spectacular catches I've ever witnessed in a game, certainly in this Mid-American Conference tournament for the past 10 years.
1-2 the count. The pitch. Chopped to third. Picked up. Actually bobbled there by DeLamiere. Stays with it. Throws over the first in time. So out number 3 here in the top of the first inning. Still scores between the Red Hawks and the Chippewas. Back here, Firestone Stadium, me and Tick alongside Joey Arrieta. Still scoreless between the Chippewas and the Red Hawks of Miami. Here's how Miami will look out in the field. They'll have McIntyre in left, McElroy in center, Fehrenbach in right, Torres at third, McChesney at short, Edwards at second, Larrabee at first, Ledbeater at behind the plate, and then Jessica Simpson
center fielder, number 4.
behind in the circle for the Miami Red Hawks. 1.12 ERA, 29-13 on the year. And lead things off with me, Macy Merchant. The pitch, high and away for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Just gotta get the words out there, Joey.
Well, sometimes, you just you're trying to think of so many things at one time, and unfortunately, sometimes it comes out a little
the 1-0, high and away.
A little bit messed up, Been there, done that a number of times. Sometimes the emotion and excitement that we get, in trying to cover these games. And
Kayla Ledbetter behind the plate. There we go.
There you go. Okay.
Oh, man. The 2-0 pitch. You'd be surprised. I have been doing these games since March. 3-0 count now on Merchant. Producer John giving us a hard time over here. What do you expect, Joey? The 3-0. Outside corner, 3-1 the count. Second appearance of the day for Simpson. Again, she went all 7 in game 1 this morning. The 3-1. Slap foul on third base line, heads up down there. Coach Yonker had to get out of the way pretty fast. And how long did you say she's been coaching?
33 years she's been at the helm over there at Central Michigan. Still really.
Look at her now. She's hiding in the dugout.
Yeah, she's going to take it a few steps back to get away from a potential line drive right back at her.
Strike 3 called outside corner. Merchant gets the K. 1 down here in the first, and Coach Yonker back in the square, and Brittany Horan will step in for the Chippewas.
I didn't think the ball, caught her on the right shoulder, but she was kind of, rubbing that shoulder. I wonder if the ball kind of nipped her on its way by.
It was a hot shot. The pitch up high for ball one and ran. 1-0 count. Simpson looks in. Pitch. Just a bit low. Horan comes into this one batting .207 on the year with 9 RBIs. Trying to get the offense going here for the Chippewas. A 2-0. Right down Main Street, 2-1.
Well, Simpson looks pretty crisp. You wondered if, she would kind of wear down a little bit, but she picks up her 10th strikeout of the day.
2-1, outside corner, 2-2. And point we were making before the game, Joey, was how loose this Miami team was and how, I wouldn't say professional, but it was a very difference in teams. And the 2-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3. Second K of the inning for Simpson. 2 down here, and Molly Coldren will step in. And got to be careful here if you're Jessica Simpson, as Coldren was the difference in these first time these two teams met here at Firestone Stadium, as she took Simpson yard in the 1-0 win. The pitch, inside corner, strike 1.
Well, she's put up 16 home runs to date, so she definitely, with her .348 average coming into this championship game, she is certainly a threat.
0-1, popped up. Third base side. Torres is over there, but will run out of room. 0-2 the count. But back to that point I was making before the out, there was a very difference in teams.
Very businesslike on the Central Michigan side of the field. Very loose and very energetic on the Miami side. Certainly, I think some of the carryover, the excitement from the win last night, the big win this morning. It's like I said earlier. You got to leave it all on the field now. This is your last chance. So. But then, I'm not surprised. Knowing Coach Yonker as I do, she really tries to keep the rein, it's all business, ladies. We have a job to do on the field. Let's get it done. 1-2
the count. The pitch. Inside corner, strike 3. Simpson strikes out the side here in the first. Still scoreless between the Chippewas and the Red Hawks. Top of the second inning here, Firestone Stadium. Still scoreless between Central Michigan and Miami, as Kayla Ledbetter will lead things off. And of course, for all your latest news, notes, and statistics, log on to mac-sports.com, the official website of the Mid-American Conference. So, a just beautiful day here in Akron, Ohio. Not much wind, if anything. It's coming in a bit from right field. The pitch is inside, 1-0 against Ledbetter, as Kara Dornbos tried to duplicate the feat that she had and go on a complete game shutout in game 1 between these two. Popped up behind the plate, and that'll hit off the screen. 1-1 the count.
Well, it has been a really nice day today. players have not had to battle the sun too much. A little bit of overcast, as you said, the wind coming right to left, but not a factor, I think, in any sense of imagination here. It's just very calm and no influence here today by the weather. Amazing for a Mid-American Conference championship. Like I said, the last 10 years, I think it's the weather has been a key factor.
Flap down the third base line and foul. 2-2 the count now to Ledbetter, the catcher for the Red Hawks, who made a phenomenal play in game one today, going up against the screen and coming down with a pop-up that at that point really changed that game around at 2-2. Inside, 3-2 the count.
Yeah, there were several defensive plays made in the game with Western Michigan and Miami that were just, picture book kind of things that you really want to remember.
Line drive in the left, that will drop in front of Gilson. Miami has a base runner on with nobody out here as Ledbetter gets a single to left.
First baseman number 16, Allie Larrabee.
Allie Larrabee, who had an RBI double in game one today, will step in. And what will we have here? Possibly a pinch runner for Miami? Yes, we will, as number 20, Tiona Marshall.
Running for Miami, first base number 20, Tiona Marshall.
Step in on first base for Ledbetter. So Marshall now at first, nobody out. Here in the top of the second inning. Nice crowd below us on hand, Joey. And a lot of Central Michigan supporters coming down from Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see the support that Central Michigan has in the stands today, and certainly with the opportunity to win another Mid-American Conference championship. I think all the fans want to be a part of it, and we're hopefully maybe bringing that to some fans that couldn't make it here to Firestone Stadium today.
0-1 count on Larrabee. The pitch. Showed bunt, pulled it back outside, 1-1 the count now. And Larrabee kind of had the breakthrough hit in that game as Meredith Whitney seemed to be cruising, and an RBI double seemingly out of nowhere gave them the lead, and Miami really never looked back from there as Jessica Simpson got in a real groove. And Miami won that one 3-1, and that's how they're playing right now.
Well, the two doubles, one in the second, one in the third, and scoring both runs, RBI runs that were scored during that.
1-2 slap foul. Count stays at 1-2.
Those two innings really got Miami in a position to kind of nail the door shut for the Broncos. Broncos just did not look as aggressive and did not. We're not in really attack mode like they were in the previous games to start this tournament.
The 1-2 is outside. 2-2 the count now.
But as we've indicated, Jessica Simpson was in the zone. She was hitting her spot. So, there's only so much you can do against the good pitching will stop good hitting.
Full count now on Larrabee. Marshall at first. The 3-2. Bloop down the third base line and foul. Will stay at 3-2. Marshall running for Ledbetter, who led off the inning with a single. Dornbos is 3-2. Slapped again down the third base line, foul. So you got to credit Larrabee here, Joey. Just fighting off pitches again, and at this point, you've kind of seen everything from Dornbos. She looks in. The 3-2 pitch. Slap foul again.
It's a great at-bat by Larrabee, and yes, she's seeing everything that Dornbos is going to throw at her, and hopefully, she's just going to wait it out till she can get a pitch that she can drive.
First baseman for the Red Hawks digs in, the 3-2. Chopped to short, picked up by Saxauer, goes to second for one, relay, double play. 2 down here in the second.
Well, you can't do it much better than a double play is difficult to do in this particular game because the base paths are only 60 feet from the plate, and to be able to turn that double play, you've got to have precision exchanges between all three ball players in order to make that happen.
6-4-3 if you're keeping track at home on that DP. 2 down here. As Dries will bloop it in the left, and that will drop. And Gilson lost the handle of it, but she'll regain it. Dries will stay at first. So 1 on with 2 out as Remy Edwards will step in.
Now you clearly understand the effectiveness of that double play, because if that double play had not occurred, perhaps we would be sitting with a runner on third base at this point because of the nice piece of hitting by Dries.
Pitch to Edwards, fouled back, healthy cut by her. 0-1 the count. Already 3 hits for the Red Hawks in this one, but nothing to show for it yet. Pitch from Dornbus, outside corner, 0-2 the count. Miami won the title back in Jessica Simpson's freshman year, trying to regain it now. The 0-2. Blooped into the middle of the infield, picked up there. The throw to first from Haran is in time. Out number 3 here in the second. Still scoreless between the Chippewas and the Red Hawks, with the CMU coming to bat. Back here, Firestone Stadium. Ian Tack alongside Joey Arrieta in the bottom of the second inning. Still scoreless between the Chippewas and the Red Hawks as Ashley Gilson will lead things off here for CMU. Be sure to get your 2012 MAC Softball Championship apparel on sale now at www.mac-sports.com. Find a full line of MAC and MAC school gear by logging on now. That's mac-sports.com. The pitch from Simpson to Gilson, swung on and missed for strike 1. 0-1 the count.
Well, Simpson came into the game with 9 strikeouts earlier today, and she continued to roll through the lineup. 1, 2, 3 strikeouts registered in the first inning against the Central Michigan team. So she has 13 on the day so far and counting.
The 1-1. That's high. 2-1. And if I go back to my notes here from game 1, she ended it on a strikeout, so 4 consecutive for her. Combined the last 2 games. Now she has a 2-2 count on Gilson. Very relaxed before this one, not uptight at all. A different difference from the first time these two teams met. 3-2 the count now. And as pointed out to Joey beforehand, first game, Miami just very uptight. They weren't having the fun they were having, so to say, in their pregame rituals and whatnot that was going on.
Well, once they got past that first game, they
swung on and missed strike 3. Number 4 of the game 2 of the day for Miami. If you want to keep track, that's 5 in a row from game 1 to 2. Brogan Darwin will step in. The MAC Pitch of the Year, showing why she got that award. The pitch. Blooped to short second, picked up by Edwards, and thrown over the first in time. So the first non-strikeout of the day out for CMU. 2 down here in the second inning. As Carolyn Saxauer will step in. She had the big hit yesterday, 2 RBI double that helped Central Michigan defeat Western 2-0. The pitch from Simpson. Fouled back, 0-1 the count.
Well, it looks like Simpson's got a game plan going on. You notice that she is really pounding the inside corner, and then she'll toss it out, just nip the outside corner. So she's really trying to work the plane left to right.
The 0-1. Low, 1-1 the count. So Simpson has 2 out here in the second inning. The 1-1 up and in. 2-1 the count now. A lot of zip on Simpson's pitches, and you would never have known this is her 5th game of this tournament. The 2-1. Outside corner, 2-2. Saxauer, the shortstop, coming in this one with a 3.01 average on the year. The 2-2. Fly ball right center. That will drop and get all the way to the wall. Saxauer rounds first. Will go into second with a stand-up double. 1 out with 2 out here for Central Michigan.
Well, Saxauer just continues to have the hot hand. She did it yesterday and has continued to get her offensive game intact. With 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning, Central Michigan is now threatening to take the lead.
Rachel Hensel will come up, batting .230 on the season, 7 RBIs. The pitch from Simpson. And that actually hit off of the helmet of Hensel off the ricocheted. 0-1 the count.
That's the good point about wearing the mask on those helmets. Some people think it's, you don't need it for protection, but as you can see, the ball actually hit the bat and then went into the face mask. The
0-1.
Really helps you out with those foul balls coming back at you, because I've seen a number of players that have done that very same thing and done some damage. Because as we've said numerous times, that this softball is anything but soft.
The 1-1. Foul back, 1-2 the count now. 2 down here in the second. Saxauer at second base.
Well, if this game plays true to form, if Dornbos can get 1 run, I think, if you look at her performance throughout this tournament, that's really all she needs.
The 1-2 from Simpson. Outside, 2-2. Nice job there by Hensel, not chasing. Looked to be a screwball. So the count now at 2-2. Simpson looks in. The pitch. Fouled off. Count stays at 2-2. Birds chirping here, Joey. Not sure how you feel about that, but.
Well, I really love birds, but I wish they would find some other homes beside the roof of this stadium.
The 2-2 is low. 3 to the count. Actually, we had one flying into the press box yesterday. And credit the staff of getting that out of there.
I can't blame them for wanting to be here. They got a nice position. They get to watch these games all the time, but they are a little bit of a problem.
Full count now. The pitch to Hensel. Chop to third and foul. Count stays full at 3-2.
This is a good at bat by Hensel. she's really been battling off some of Simpson's good pitches. The balls that are coming into the fist, she's really been fighting those off.
Central Michigan dugout trying to encourage on the designated player for the Chippewas as she digs back in against Jessica Simpson. Zach Sauer at second. The 3-2 pitch. Blooped on the infield over is Torres, and she makes the play right into the Central Michigan dugout. That will be out number 3 here in the second inning with the score Central Michigan 0, Miami 0. Back here at Firestone Stadium, top of the third inning, and a special guest here in the top of the third as the Mid-American Conference Commissioner, Dr. John Steinbrecher, will join me here. And Dr. Steinbrecher, saw you walking around on the infield before the game, and obviously spring championship season is here. You got track and field going on, and obviously softball today. Just your overall feel on the spring season here in the Mid-American Conference.
You know what? It's been a great spring. A lot of great competition. The weather's cooperated more often than not. Wonderful tournament here in Akron. We couldn't have asked for better weather. We couldn't ask for better competition on the field. Great crowd here, so I'm tickled to death.
Obviously, the winter season, a success for the Mid-American Conference. Ohio University has run into the Sweet 16. It really put the MAC back on the map, and that obviously you had to be happy with what happened. Obviously, the Mid-American Conference at the Q was a success with the overall attendance, and then obviously OU's run all throughout the tournament was phenomenal for the MAC.
Well, it continued. I think what's been a very, very good year really across a number of our sports. It started in the fall. We had 4 teams in women's volleyball advanced to NCAA championship competition. First time we've ever had that. Most ever in any sport for us. We go into the football bowl season. We go 4-1, win the ESPN Challenge Cup, which is given to the BCS conference that has the best bowl record. Some good things in wrestling, and then we get into basketball, and some really neat things happen there.
Yeah.
And then we move into the spring, and we're seeing more of the same. What we see is what I think our fan base has known is that our top teams can compete nationally in any sport.
As McChesney is hit by the pitch, she'll go down to first, so 1 on with nobody out here for Miami. And back to the top of the order. And, you look at now the football season, you lose Temple, but you make the addition of UMass now coming into the Mid-American Conference. Talk about the addition of the Minutemen, and that brings a nice feel of a Northeast team coming into the Mid-American Conference.
It stretched our boundaries a little bit, not too significantly. You're in the same time zone. We'll play in Boston for the next couple of years, and then hopefully they'll have their renovations done on their stadium on campus, and we'll get back into Amherst. But I look forward to competing with them. They've had a nice program. It was really one of the best all-around FCS programs. So I expect them to step up fairly quickly. New head coach going in there, Charlie Molnar, who's come in from Notre Dame. We're expecting big things out of him.
A lot of changes all throughout, actually, the landscape of the MAC. And Terry Bowden taking over at Akron, and obviously that program, they want to turn that around a bit. Talk about Terry. You feel his impact may be on the MAC and what further come?
Well, he's developed a really good coaching staff there. Obviously, he's a very high-profile coach. I think the folks in their community have taken to him right away. He'll bring in a lot of excitement. He's going to need a year or two to get some recruiting under his belt and continue to build up that program. But I think they're going to make some strides this year, and we'll look forward to getting the Zips back on the right track in football.
Looking at this championship here, the 2-1 is fouled back. Having a facility like Firestone Stadium, and people consider the Mid-American Conference as a mid-major, which is well known, but you're able to have their championship games at Ford Field, here at Firestone Stadium, the Quicken Loans Arena, a luxury that most mid-majors don't have, and that's got to be nice for you and the Mid-American Conference.
We're fortunate we're in a number of communities or within our footprint that there are some really great facilities, and we've been fortunate to build relationships with a number of great people. And, we're at Firestone Park here. It's really a historic ballpark. I believe it opened in, 25 or somewhere in that range.
Yep.
Babe Ruth has played here.
Chopped back over the mound, picked up there by the pitcher, and thrown over the first in time. Miami fans didn't like the call, but I got to agree with first base umpire Doug Zimmerman that Dornbos got that throw over in time. One down as McChesney moves up to second on the play, and Jordan McElroy will step in for the Red Hawks.
And then we're about a week and a half away from our baseball championship, and this year we're moving it to All-Pro Players Park up in Avon Lakes, just outside of Cleveland. It's a fairly new, couple-year-old minor league facility. I really think our student athletes and fans will have a great experience there.
One of the biggest things this year with the Mid-American Conference is their new emphasis on the digital network, and obviously we're being able to bring you these streams here. Can you talk about that and the influence that's had on your conference? That's going to bounce off of the shortstop, and no play at first. McElroy is on at first base, but Chesney stays at first, so 2 on with 1 out.
Well, through our streaming, through our website, we can take our message, we can take our product directly to the consumer. We don't have to work through third parties. We don't have to have our message filtered, and it's a great way to share information, to build your fan base, and I really like the way our staff is working to
fly
utilize
ball
it.
to left, and that will go foul. Almost had you on a home run call there.
So, we need to continue to grow it. Our numbers are up significantly this year. The quality of the product is better. We really like our partnership with Access Digital. They're doing a great job, and I really like the way our schools are working with us on this effort.
The 0-1 is in the dirt. That gets away from the catcher, and we'll go all the way back to the backstop. Second and third, 1 out here, as the Lamalier cannot bring that one in. You come in here, and now all of a sudden we have some business happening.
It is starting to get a little exciting now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Former ball player yourself at all?
I played football and tennis in college. So enjoy the competition. Softball has got to be one of the favorite sports I have to watch, though. The action, there's a lot of it. The game moves right along. Generally speaking, with the facility, you're right on top of the action, so the sight lines are great. You can hear what's going on. Makes for a fun experience.
Obviously, this tournament here, we've talked about the breakthrough of what could happen for if a Miami or Central Michigan. And that would be great to hear and to continue on this year of breakthrough. And you talk about the volleyball having 4 teams and things like that. It'd be great to see a softball team do well in the regionals and so on.
Well, in virtually any of our sports,
yeah,
if you're a college athlete, what you spend a good bit of your time stretching for is to make NCAA postseason competition. So for every one of these kids, it's a dream. And so you've got kids out here who are seniors who, depending on how this turns out, could be their last game, or they could have some more playing to do.
Line drive, left field line, just foul. And a 2-2 count now to McIntyre. As McChesney's at third, McElroy's at second. 1 down here in the third, still scores between the Red Hawks and the Chippewas. The pitch from Dornbos. Fly ball to left. If it's fair, it's gone, but it'll be foul in the bullpen. Count stays at 2-2.
They are getting around on the ball right now, aren't they?
To say the least, a lot of home runs here so far at Firestone Stadium throughout the tournament, and you got to thank Joey Arrieta and the staff of the Akron Racers for all the hard work they put into this tournament. The 2-2 is outside, 3-2. And it's just a fine tournament that has gone on here at Firestone this season. And no rain.
That always helps.
Yeah. The 3-2. High and away. So McIntyre will go down the first on the walk. Daniela Torres will step in with the bases loaded. 1 down. And
Third baseman number 24.
again,
Daniela
alongside
Torres.
Dr. John Steinbrecher, the Mid-American Conference Commissioner, here in the third. And that will be grounded foul down the third base line. Have you ever thought doing any play-by-play in your life?
That's probably not my strength.
Nah. You'll stay in the office, huh?
That's right.
You'll present the trophies, just don't want to call the games when it goes off to that.
Although I do have a face for radio, however, I'll leave it to the professionals.
Obviously, though, your partnership with the STO this year also has been great, giving you the basketball championships, and just the exposure of the MAC has just gone.
You know what? We're tickled with the relationship we've built with STO, which is the flagship of all of our regional carriers, whether it's in the Comcast Michigans and Indianas and things like that. But it's afforded us an opportunity to put a lot of events on TV, which is a great complement to what we're doing nationally with ESPN and on their various platforms.
The 1-2. Fouled back by Torres. Count stays at 1-2.
So we really, when you combine what we're doing really on the Tier 1 with the national, the Tier 2, the regional, and then with our online digital efforts, we really have more exposure than we've ever had before in this league.
Fine drive foul. Count stays at 1-2. Still scoreless between the Red Hawks and the Chippewas here. Again, if Miami wins, we'll play a third game here today at Firestone. If Central Michigan wins this one, they will go to the NCAA tournament. Chop to third, and it'll be a double, no, not a double play. DeLamiere tags out McChesney. 2 down now. Base is still loaded as Kayla Ledbetter will step in.
Boy, I tell you what, if the Chippewas escape from this, it'll be a heck of a half inning for them. That will might loom large.
They have been able to escape the big play, so to say, all throughout this tournament, and great pitching from Dornbos has been the reason why. The pitch, inside corner, strike 1. So baseball tournament coming up here, and Memorial Day weekend. Obviously, the track season going on. Personal 01 is in the dirt. Being an Akron Zip myself, glad to see the men's track team possibly completing the double this weekend up in Mount Pleasant. And
the Zips have a fine track and field program all around. They really should be commended for that.
1-1 the count. The pitch. Inside corner, 1-2. Dornbos 1 strike away from getting out of this jam. McElroy at third. McIntyre at second. Torres at first. The pitch. Swung out and missed. Strike 3. Dornbos gets out of the jam. And inning stays scoreless.
Quite a recovery.
Dr. Steinbrecher, thank you. Appreciate you coming on here. And we'll look forward to you at the baseball tournament.
Absolutely. Appreciate all your efforts.
No problem. Have a good one. End of middle of the third inning, still scoreless between the Red Hawks and the Chippewas.
the bottom of the third inning.
Bottom of the third inning here.
Number 8, Chelsea DeLamalier.
As Chelsea DeLamalier will lead things off here for the Chippewas. Ian Take along backside Joey Arrieta. And Joey, nice having you back. I missed you for a half inning there, partner.
Well, that was a very exciting inning as Dornbos really got out of a jam.
Popped up, and Larrabee is under it, and she'll bring it in. One down here in the third, and Corey DeLamalier will step in for the Chippewas.
The catcher, number 5, Corey DeLamalier.
I mean, you got to hand it to Dornbos. She really was facing the back up against the wall with bases loaded. The great backhanded play by Torres to tag the runner to get that second out, which set up the final out, the strikeout by Dornbos. So the Miami Redhawks, they had their opportunity there to cash in, but just couldn't get that timely hit.
0-1 count to Corey DeLamalier. The pitch from Simpson. High, 1-1 the count. Was glad to hear from the commissioner of, how happy he is with what's going on here at Firestone Stadium, and just a great effort put on by you and your staff and all the Akron Racers family, the 1-1, and swung on and missed 1 and 2 to bring the Mid-American Conference tournament here, and just a job well done, Joey.
Well, thank you. We've had some great support from some of the folks, Becca and some of the folks that came over from Kent State to help with the groundskeeping. That was a big effort. The City of Akron grounds crew that stayed on and contributed. Really, when it comes right down to it, the field is really the most important thing. Of course, the food and the facility beyond that. Those meatball subs
last night, I'll tell you what, the 2-2 fouled back.
Well, we've been trying to keep everybody, the staff and all of the folks from the MAC and coaches from around the league happy by feeding them lunch and dinner. So it's been our pleasure. We've really enjoyed bringing the MAC tournament to Firestone Stadium. Hope it's going to continue here, and we're very happy about
2-2's fouled back.
The streaming of this is the 3 games, the 5 o'clock games, both Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, this morning's game, and now the championship game. And then, of course, we're going to move on down, and we're going to air the final day of the men's baseball tournament for the Mid-American Conference, too.
2-2's fouled back. So count stays at 2-2. Still scoreless here in the third. Miami threatened with the bases loaded, 1 out opportunity in the top of the inning, but we're unable to come through, and things still scoreless here.
Jeff Bacon and Aaron Dugan have been great to work with, and we've really had a growing relationship over the last several years to try to continue to improve this tournament. Certainly the streaming was a little baby of mine that I really wanted to try to see what we could do. We started it earlier this year at the University of Akron, which seemed to bode some success, so moved it on down here, and now going to go on to do the baseball.
Popped up on the infield. Edwards is under it, and she will bring it in. 2 down here in the third inning. Back to the top of the order with Macy Merchant.
Back to the top of the order for Central Michigan, center fielder number 4.
Well, we're going to look forward to something here. Some team, either Central Michigan or Miami, is going to get a hold of one, and perhaps get that 1 run that really is essentially what all these 2 pitchers need. They just need 1 run, and then they can pretty much shut the door on the offense of the opposing team.
Fouled off, 0-1 the count.
As we've seen throughout the tournament, these 2 young ladies, Simpson and Dornbos, have just kind of steamrolled their effort right through to this championship game. Been doing it all year for their respective ball clubs, and certainly have done a very, very nice job.
Bunt down the third base line. Bare hand grab by Torres. Play it first, not in time. 1 on, 2 out as Merchant in a bunt single. She did that yesterday, Joey, and she just has that play down. The fastest player for CMU gets on here in the third.
Yeah, no question. She's the wheels of the Central Michigan team, and if anybody can get herself in scoring position with her legs, it will be Lacey Merchant.
The pitch for Haran is chopped to Thor. Torres picks it up, throws over the first in time, and that will do it for the third inning here at Firestone Stadium. Still scores between Miami and Central Michigan.
Central Michigan.
Back here at Firestone Stadium, top of the 4th inning, still scores between Miami and Central Michigan. Mid-American Conference would like to thank all their corporate partners for their support for this year's tournament. First Energy, Marathon, Cooper Tires, Holiday Inn, State Farm, and Cleveland Clinic Sports Health. Thank you for all of your support. So Allie Larrabee will lead things off here. She grounded to a double play back in the second inning.
Number 16, Allie Larrabee.
As Miami has had 3 hits and reached on an error as well. Unable to score so far. The pitch. And Dornbos's first pitch to Larrabee is an outside ball. 1-0 the count. Dornbos looks in, the 1-0. Fly ball to left, under it is Gilson, and she will bring it in. One down here in the 4th, as Casey Dries will step in.
Dries.
1 for 1 today, singled in the 4th, singled in the 2nd. You gotta think they would want a single here in the 4th, get a runner up.
But Dornbos has just continued to pitch a game of, if I looked at everything that she has done throughout this tournament, she has just relied on her defense, a lot of pop-ups that she has been able to force the opponents in, and that's how she's controlled the game.
Right on cue, pop up the first, caught by Coldren. 2 down here in the 4th. And Remy Edwards will step in for the Redhawks.
Second baseman number 18, Remy Edwards.
And most of these pop-ups have just not had any muscle to them, so they've
that's
not.
That's been the theme like the last 2 days.
Yes,
it happened a lot to Western yesterday, and same thing today.
Yeah, it's kind of give them a little piece of the ball, but just don't give them all of the ball.
Pitch fouled back, 0-1 the count. As the commissioner said, nice crowd on hand here on Championship Saturday. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good things happen with the Mid-American Conference under his leadership, as you were noting in some of the things that you two are talking about. But he certainly, deserves a lot of credit for, putting the national attention on the Mid-American Conference.
The 1-1's a bit high. Chippewa faithful didn't like the call. 2-1 the count. The pitch. Fly ball to left. Under it is Gilson at the line, and she will bring it in for out number 3. And Miami goes 1-2-3 here in the top of the 4th. Still scores between Miami and Central Michigan. Back here at Firestone Stadium, you see the Miami of Ohio faithful there. Trying to root on Jessica Simpson and company here at Firestone Stadium. And if Miami, again, a reminder, Miami wins this game, they will force the third game here today. And if Central Michigan wins, they advance on to the NCAA tournament. No pressure at all. The pitch from Simpson. Fouled off the first base line, and it will stay foul for Coldren, who struck out in the first inning. Joey, got to be happy about the fan turnout today.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I look over both sides, with Miami has a strong contingent here, and Central Michigan looks like the fans from Central Michigan have made the trek from Mount Pleasant to come over here, so we're thankful for them. Of course, they're used to the success of the Central Michigan softball program under head coach Margot Yonker. She's just been she's the dean of the coaches.
Chop the third and goes off the glove of Torres. That was a hard hit ball. I doubt they'll call that an error. And Coldren's on with a single here in the fourth.
Left fielder number 12, Ashley Gilson.
Not much you could do on that one.
No, that ball came back at her so hard, and when you get Coldren, she is really the toughest out, I think, in the Central Michigan lineup. 16 home runs on the year. She has a lot of power behind that bat.
Gilson shows bunt. She'll lay it down. Simpson picks it up, throw to first in time. Coldren moves up to second. One on, one out. And Brogan Darwin will step in
Right fielder
for
Brogan Darwin.
CMU. Still scoreless here. But the first time all day, second time all day that Central Michigan has a runner in scoring position, unable to take advantage of that in the second with Saxauer. That was on second base. The pitch to Darwin from Simpson. Inside corner for strike one, 0-1 the count. Again, Jessica Simpson, the MAC pitcher of the year. Well deserved on that as she's had her ERA under 2 all season, currently now at 1.12 coming into this game. The 0-1.
It's quite a feat by her when you look at when you put Meredith Whitney and Dornbos and Simpson, the three of them, just an incredible trio, but Simpson just rose to the top this season again for the Pitcher of the Year honors.
The pitch. Chop foul down the third base line, 1-2 the count now. He came into today with 332, that's absurd, 332 strikeouts, Joey, on the season. And opponent's batting 179 against her. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. We're talking about how Meredith Whitney came in with over 240. Well,
and that became actually the
that was a Western Michigan season record. The 2-2. Fisted the short, picked up there by McChesney. Throw to first, got away from Larrabee. And Coldren will move up to third. First and third, one out.
I got to think that they're going to call that an error on the throw because the throw was actually into
Shortstop, number 21,
Darwin as she was running down the line. I may be wrong, but it's.
So Miami wants to talk about this a little bit, and they will charge that an error to McChesney on the throw. Runners on the corners, one down here, still scoreless. Coldren's at third, Darwin's at first. She actually got hit, I think, or turned her ankle, something of that nature. She was hobbling down the first base line. You can see the Central Michigan dugout there trying to get some encouragement to Saxauer, who has come through multiple times for this team, especially yesterday with that 2 RBI double that broke the game open between Western Michigan and Central Michigan.
Well, she came through yesterday with a double. Earlier in this game in the second inning, she was stranded at second base with the double that she had hit with 2 down in the second inning. But she's in a key position right now to break this game open.
The pitch. Ball high, 1-0 the count.
I think the key for her to really, at this point, she needs to be patient, take a pitch that she can drive or a pitch that she can send out at least to the outfield in the air to allow a run to score.
1-0. Again, similar, I believe it was her in the first inning or the second inning, that foul ball right off the protective part of the helmet. 1-1 the count, and Joey will say it again, that's why you wear those type of helmets.
Well, you know, when you throw those inside pitches and you try to get them into the fist, you know, and you're trying to swing at that pitch, and really a lot of times the ball just kind of comes right back at you.
The 1-1. Pitch out. They will throw down to second, and Coldren's going to try to sneak at third, and back to first goes Darwin.
Good job by the Miami defense to, you know, keep the runners where they were at. But, you know, got to keep an eye on that. Coldren at third base is the most important thing right now because one run is the difference in a loss for Miami, eliminating their opportunity to stretch this to 2 games.
2-1 the count. Pitch to Saxauer. Low and inside, 3-1 the count now. Simpson takes a deep breath in the circle and will look in to Ledbetter for the sign. The 3-1. Popped up on the infield. Under it is McChesney. She will bring it in. Big out there for Simpson and the Red Hawks. 2 down now in the 4th as Hensel will dig in. She popped out to third in the 2nd. Big out there, Joey.
Well, good job by Simpson to come in again on the 5th and just got that, you know, you shorten the bat a bit so that you don't give them anything to drive, and that's exactly what you did, was just give them a little cheap pop-up in the infield.
The pitch. Outside for ball 1, 1-0 the count.
Well, Hensel's in the DP role for some reason. You know, she's obviously someone that Coach Junker feels that she can count on when it comes to getting something done offensively.
Foul down the third base line. Heads up down there, Anna Bose. Our camera girl just dodging out of the way. Thumbs up. We got a thumbs up. All right, we're all good. But she learning about the hot corner down there at third base.
Yeah, that was streaming right by her head.
1-1 the count. The pitch from Simpson. Off speed and a doozy. 1-2 the count. Look over to my right. The Simpson clan making a lot of noise over there, trying to root on Jessica to out number 3. Simpson looks in. The 1-2 pitch. Outside. 2-2 the count. Coldren at third. She led off the inning with a single. Moved over on a sacrifice from Gilson. Then an error on a throw from McChesney. Got Darwin on and moved Coldren over the third. The 2-2. Fly ball down the third base line. That will land in the parking lot. 2-2 the count stays.
Good job by Hensel to fight that inside pitch off and potential strike 3. She's getting a good look at a lot of pitches here. Simpson is just mixing it up very good. Inside, outside, up and down. Good changeup, off-speed pitching.
The 2-2. Fouled back. Count stays at 2-2. Hensel battling like she did in the second, and if you remember that at bat, Joey, she fouled off and fouled off and fouled off. Simpson finally got her on a rise ball to pop out, but it was a similar at bat to this.
Well, she's had a lot of looks at Simpson. these past 2 at-bats.
The 2-2. Chopped to short and picked up there by McChesney. She will tag on second base. Inning over. No runs on the board for Central Michigan. We're scoreless through 4. Back here, Firestone Stadium, top of the 5th inning. Still scores between Miami and Central Michigan. And this MAC tournament brought to you by the Akron Racers. And Joey, a great season upcoming for the Racers as they look to regain the title and knock off Chicago off the pedestal, so to say. And a lot of exciting events upcoming for the Racers this year. Obviously, opening night on the 7th, and then Title IX night coming on in later June against Florida. Just talk about your team a little bit, talk about those events and how people can get involved with those.
Well, I'm always very excited about
fly ball fouled on the third base line, 0-1.
About opening day, and I've been hearing from all of my players who are flying in from all over the country in the next several days to come here and join our team. We have a very short window to get the entire group here and practicing, and we won't see some of our players until after the College World Series, which we will have already started our season at that point against the Carolina Dimes on June 7th. Big night for all of us, certainly is a celebration of the 40th anniversary of Title IX on June 23rd. A lot of things happening all over the country. Certainly if you pick up the Sports Illustrated this issue this month, they've got a great story in there about the evolution of women's sports over the past 40 years.
The 1-2 is fouled down the third base line, so the count stays there. If people want tickets, they go to akronracers.org?
Yes, you can go on to akronracers.org. We have a Title IX commemorative T-shirt that is up there now, and also an opening weekend T-shirt that we'll be providing.
In the right, that will go off the glove of Haran, and McChesney's on with the single here in the 5th.
Good effort by Haran, just almost, maybe one more step, and I think she might have brought that ball down.
Kirsty Fehrenbach will step in now, the leadoff batter in the order for Miami's 0 for 2 today, 2 groundouts.
You talk about the Racers team for 2012. We come back as the regular season runner-up this past year in 2011.
Bloop the third, caught there by Delamalier, throw the first in time for the double play. Just excellent defense there by Central Michigan, yet again like they've done all tournament. My goodness, Joey, they have been so sound defensively.
Well, what's been really exciting, the double plays that have been turned, it's similar bang events like you just saw. These things are like I told you, I love watching good defensive plays, and I think that this tournament has just been stacked with one right after another by all of these teams that have competed.
The 1-0. That's a ball up high, 2-0 on the count, and you got a lot of young talent coming in this year for the Racers. A lot of good pitching coming in, and you want to tell the fans about those?
Well, we drafted Hillary Bach from...
Fly ball right center. Back is Merchant, and she'll make the catch. We'll continue the talk during the inning. We'll keep it on here. We'll talk about the Racers now. You got a lot of young talent coming in. Talk about who you drafted and who you got coming back.
Well, we drafted Hillary Bach out of Arizona State. She's 19-1 right now. Just lost the championship of the Pac-12 to the number 1 team in the country, California.
No slouch there.
No slouch there. And on that California team was one of our also draftees, Jamia Reed, who really is a swift-footed outfielder, and she's going to bring a lot of excitement to our team. Also, we drafted in the first round, our number 1 pick was an outstanding middle infielder from Texas, Lexi Bennett. We don't know if she's going to be at second or short, but whatever place she is, you want to watch someone play defense. This young lady has played the entire season for Texas and has committed just 1 error all season. She is quite the athlete. Alicia Heron from Ohio State, we also drafted this past March. She comes in here leading the Big Ten with 13 home runs. And Amanda Chittister, we're going to bring a Michigan player again here to our team, who was the Big Ten Player of the Year.
How's that going to work out for you?
You know, they'll become friends real quick, because I get it squared away with them right away about that rivalry.
Chelsea DeLamiere will lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th. Still scoreless here between the Chippewas and the Red Hawks. The pitch. Inside corner for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Simpson looks in. The 0-1 to DeLamiere. Fouled off. 0-2 the count. 8-9-1 in the order now for Central Michigan. Do you have youth tickets? Of course, we want the youth to be involved in softball. We talked earlier today, the hotbed that is Northeast Ohio. Tickets and things like that, of course, Akron Racers Outdoor. Strike 3 called, outside corner. That's actually first struck out since the 2nd inning for Simpson. 1 down here in the 5th.
We have a lot of group opportunities for youth softball teams. You know, they just got to, give us a call at our office, 330-376-8188. We have a tremendous amount of activities going on. Each Sunday is Pepsi's Kids Day at the park here, and a lot of activities going on within the ballpark to entertain the younger fans who are coming here, and certainly then all those youth teams. We'll be bringing in 50 teams on opening weekend to participate in our Slam Series event that we have hosted for the past 10 years. So a lot of activities, a lot of action, a lot of giveaways. So please give us a call.
The 1-1 fouled back, 1-2 the count. Now you look at a player like Jessica Simpson. Obviously she's had the success in the MAC. Now how does she take that to the next level?
And I think she's got a future. It just depends on what she wants to do. We're at this point. She would be looked at tryouts and at each of our teams that will be conducting tryouts. It's certainly, I think everybody that is seniors. I think I'm looking at all the young ladies that are in this tournament, because we certainly have to have our go-to list. We don't have a minor league that we can just pluck a player up and bring them up and down. So
foul down the left field line. Count stays at 2-2.
So we always have to have the ability to find a good talent and bring them in a hurry. I've had the pleasure of watching this young lady grow up, and she's not only an outstanding, athlete and pitcher, but just a class act. She has been ever since the years when I saw her playing for North Canton Hoover. It comes from a very, very fine family. It was, as you can tell, support her very well.
3-2 pitch to DeLamiere. Fisted up in the air. Torres is under it, and she'll bring it in. 2 down here in the 5th. Back to the top of the order with Macy Merchant. She reached on a bunt single in the 3rd.
Both teams really have had their opportunities to get themselves on the board, but, you got to hand it to Simpson and Dornbos. They have just really not allowed the key hit to be made. They've toughened up when they've had runners on the bases.
Fouled back, 0-1 the count. And your players arrive here in a week, and I know you're excited.
I am very excited. I'm always excited when for opening day. As you plan all year, work very hard, very long hours. Our staff getting ready for opening night. And I always tell our team, that's in the front office, we've got to win the ball game in the front office if you expect the team on the field to win the ball game every night.
0-2 the count. The pitch outside, 1-2 to Merchant. And had the bunt single in the third, struck out in the first looking. Part of 5 Ks from Jessica Simpson, the MAC pitcher of the year. The 1-2. Chopped the third. Torres touched it foul. Count stays at 1-2. Got to give credit there to Torres playing the hot corner perfectly there, but home plate umpire Vic Sina said that was foul, so the count stays at 1-2. Simpson looks in. The 1-2 pitch. Slap foul. Again, right by diving Torres. And the count stays at 1-2.
Definitely making Torres work over there, getting that uniform dirty.
2 out here in the fifth, still scoreless. The 1-2 pitch. High. 2-2. Championship Saturday here at Firestone Stadium. Central Michigan has to win 1. Miami has to win all 3 here today. They've already gotten 1 in the books. They're trying to get number 2 here, the 2-2. Fly ball left field. Under it is McIntyre, and she will bring it in. Out number 3 here in the 5th. CMU goes in order. Game still scoreless going in the 6th inning. Back here, top of the 6th inning at Firestone Stadium. Still scores between Miami and Central Michigan. Just a little game reset for you. Miami 0 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. Central Michigan 0 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. And again, for your latest news, notes, statistics, and all more, log on to mac-sports.com, the official website of the Mid-American Conference, and it'll have all your championship sites and stats and results and standings from all around the Mid-American Conference. And the first pitch to McIntyre is a called ball, 1-0 the count. The pitch. Check swing. She went around, 1-1 the count. Dornbos ran into trouble in the third, but was able to get out of a bases loaded jam, and outside of that, she's been very good, except for that one that goes over the head of the left fielder. McIntyre's in the second base with a double here in the 6th as Gilson has kind of misplayed that one a bit, Joey, and Miami has a runner on with no one out.
Well, in somewhat of her defense, that really was a line shot that was moving away for her. I think the first step forward kind of it beat her to the punch, but that ball was very well hit, probably one of the best hit balls in the game so far.
Bunt down the third base line, picked up by DeLama. Lear, throw to first, got away. Coming home from third is McIntyre. She will score 1-0. Miami here in the sixth. Torres laid it down the third base line. And DeLamiere kind of rushed that throw, Joey. And Miami gets the first breakthrough in this one, leading 1-0 here in the sixth inning.
I think I told you earlier at the onset of these games that it would come down to some defensive mistake because when you looked at both of the pitchers that were coming into this game and the performances that they have had throughout this tournament, the break that Miami just got was because of a defensive error. Just DeLamiere just didn't seem to have that ball, didn't kind of upright herself to make that throw, and really threw it almost right into the runner as well.
Ledbetter has a 1-0 count on her. The pitch inside, 2-0 the count.
These teams seem so evenly matched coming into this game. Basically, if you look at the games in the tournament in itself, they were pretty.
Fly ball left center. Going back, and now it's off the wall. Rounding third and trying to score is Torres. She will.
Nice job by Torres to run in those bases. Just really never gave up on it. The ball hit well to the fence, and the double produces the second Miami run of the game here in the top of the sixth inning. Looks like Miami has broken this game open in the sixth inning.
Gilson and Merchant couldn't get to that one as it hit off the wall. And that plated Torres. Torres had to wait up at second to make sure that Gilson or Merchant didn't catch that one. But credit her to hustle around third base and get home. 2-0 Miami here in the sixth.
But once she saw that ball, that they were not going to get to it, she just took off, and she was not going to be denied that run.
Larrabee will step in, ground into a double play in the second. Flew out in the fourth. Ledbetter at second base. The pitch to Larrabee. Outside corner for strike one from Dornbos. 0-1 the count. The 0-1. Outside corner for strike two. And all of a sudden that Miami dugout making a lot of noise, Joey. And they have every right to here. Finally breaking through against Central Michigan. The 2-0. The 0-2, is outside 1 and 2. The 1-2. Off the plate. 2 and 2 the count. The 2-2 pitch. Foul back. Count stays at 2 and 2. And a lot of action really fast going on in the Central Michigan bullpen. The pitch from Dornbos. Outside, 3 and 2 to count now. Larrabee had the double that broke things open earlier today. Trying to get run number 3 on the board. The pitch outside, ball 4. She works the walk, and you can see the Miami dugout making a lot of noise right now. First and second, nobody out here in the sixth.
That is just the second walk given up by Dornbos in this game. Seems to be a little bit shaken up a bit about the long double.
Drees down to the third. Picked up there by DeLamiere. Throw over the first in time. Gets the double play. 2 down now in the sixth. Larrabee moves up to second.
Second baseman number 18, Remy Edwards.
Remy Edwards steps in, and we may have a pinch hitter for Remy. as she will go back to the dugout. But the throw in air by DeLon Malier scored McIntyre, and then Ledbetter hit a double that scored Torres. That's the difference right now. And it looks like we will have number 23, Megan Matera will step in. She had possibly the biggest hit all season for Miami. Last night, the two-run triple that she hit to give Miami a 4-2 win. Essentially was the 4-2 win in the 6th inning a night ago. So she will step in and try to do the same thing here. Two out.
Good move on the part of the coaching staff. You know, that third run is very important.
Fly ball left field line and foul. You can tell she's just up there she just wants to hit.
Well, judging from what she accomplished last night, I think it was a great move here to see if they can plate this third run.
The pitch to Matera. Off spin, just a bit off. 1-1 the count. 2 outs, 2-0 Miami. The pitch from Dornbos. Outside, 2-1 the count. If this score holds for an inning and a half, we'll play a third game here today at Firestone. The 2-1. Fouled off.
That one was into the parking lot, and hopefully that wasn't your car.
I cringed. I parked close today. Probably shouldn't have, Joey. No damage yesterday to speak of, though. The 2-2 from Dornbos. Swung on and missed, strike 3. She gets a big strikeout there, but Miami plates 2 here in the top of the 6th. They lead 2-0 going into the bottom of the 6th inning.
The bottom of the 6th inning.
Bottom of the 6th inning here, Firestone Stadium. Brittany Horan will lead things off here for the Chippewas as they trail 2-0. The pitch. Just a bit off, 1-0 the count. Horan struck out in the first, grounded out in the third. The 1-0. Fouled back, and that will land right in the hands of the paying customer. Nice job by her. I gave her the thumbs up, and she has to give the ball back.
That was outstanding because the head coach of the University of Akron, Julie Jones, is seated down there, and I think her little 2-month-old son may be sitting there as well. So
swung on and missed 1-2. Yes, the little Roo is here, as we could call her.
The little Roo is here.
Beautiful day for him to be out, and good congratulations to Coach Jones for for that, and a strike 3 call. Outside corner. One down here in the 6th.
First baseman,
As we had
number 9, Molly
Rue
Colton.
daycare last weekend, as we had 2 babies up in the press box at one point.
Well, luckily they were both sleeping during the time that they were there. Don't know what we would have done had they not been taking a little nap.
Coldren will step in. The pitch to her is in the dirt. And a 1-0 count to Molly Coldren. Singled in the 4th, struck out in the 1st inning.
You know, Jessica Simpson opened the game with 3 consecutive strikeouts, then got the first batter in the 2nd inning, and then put another one up in the 5th, and of course now gets her 6th strikeout of this game.
The 1-0's inside, 2-0 the count now. You look out to the stands here, Joey, a lot of youth in attendance here too, so nice to see that as well. The 2-0. Fouled off, and for the 3rd time today, off the protective face mask. Can't emphasize the safety enough here.
No, I've unfortunately been a victim of getting hit in the face, and I've known a number of folks who do so. I advocate great helmets and that mask.
Chop the 3rd, nice stop there by Torres, makes the throw, not in time. Coldren beat it out. Nice hustle by her.
I just want to comment on the spectacular defensive play by Torres. Even though she did not get the runner, the way she gloved the ball and everything, she's done an outstanding job. Earlier in the inning, you remarked a couple times about her ability to handle that hot corner, and that was a screamer at her.
Gilson will step in. The pitch. Swung on a miss. Healthy cut by Gilson. 0-1 the count. Playing Gilson deep here in the outfield. The 0-1 from Simpson. Outside, 1-1 the count.
Actually, I think I'm kind of figuring out why I like Torres so much. She reminds me of Kelly Montalvo, who went to the University of Alabama and now plays for me. She plays with the same kind of enthusiasm and hustle and just great glove work.
The 1-1. Just a bit off, 2-1. And again, for all your ticket information and schedules and much, much more, visit akronracers.org. Get opening night June 7th. The 2-1. Fouled back. 2-2 the count.
And while I have it, kind of opened the door to Kelly Montalvo. Folks out there may have seen her on the MTV special Mad. She was She was working with a young softball player, and
Fly ball, medium left. McIntyre is under it, and she will bring it in. 2 down here in the 6th. Coldren stays at first.
And I bring up that made television broadcast because from all that I've heard from the producers and all the comments that we got, it was one of the finest segments that MTV has placed on that particular made segments that they have been doing with players like Kelly.
First pitch of Darwin's on the outside corner, strike 1, and
you're just very proud of young if you knew Kelly Montalvo, and as I do, she did an absolute phenomenal job in this broadcast.
The 0-1 inside 1-1. If I guess you can check that out on MTV.com.
Yeah, I think you can now because it's been a week or so since it was aired, so I think they log them in on the internet now so that you can go back and watch them. So I encourage folks to go check it out.
The 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Simpson just seems to have a little bit more on these pitches this inning, Joey, as she got that 2-run lead, and she's really feeling it now.
Well, she seems a bit energized, and who wouldn't be? She's brought her team back through the losers bracket and are poised to
1-2 on the outside corner, right on cue. Out number 3 here in the 6th inning. Miami leads 2-0 after 6. back here, Firestone Stadium. Top of the seventh inning. As Kylie McChesney will lead things off here for Miami, who lead 2-0. In this seventh inning, they played a 2 and a 6 and were able to take a 2-0 lead on Kara Dornbos and the Central Michigan Chippewas. Again, if this score holds, we'll play game 3 about half an hour after this one concludes. 0-1's on the outside corner, 0-2 the count. Dornbos looks in, the 0-2. Chopped to second, picked up there by Horan. Throw to first is in time. One down here in the 7th. Back to the top of the order.
To the top of the order for Miami, right fielder number 4, Kirsty Fehrenbach.
Kirsty Fehrenbach, and not sure if you can see them there, Joey, but the little one's trying to get a little TV time now. It's Coach Jones and company. First pitch to Fehrenbach is on the outside corner for strike 1.
Cute little guy. Congratulations to head coach Julie Jones.
The 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1 the count. Yeah, that was something that day. He had 2 babies up there, both sound asleep. They lived through a home run call, too, for me, the 1-1. Chop back to Mount, actually goes over the glove of Dornbos, picked up by Horan, and the play to first not in time.
Just like the throw pulled the foot off of the bag, and Fehrenbach actually ends up safe at first on the call.
Center fielder number 6, Jordan McElroy.
Jordan McElroy, the center fielder, will step in, and the pitch is a fouled off on the third base side, and that will land right by Anna Bowes again. She's been the tough luck today.
We need to give her a glove over there because she's getting quite a few over there. She may want to switch sides for this next game.
There's the little guy.
There he is.
They're hungry at that age, though. The 0-1. Chop to second. Horan picks it up, tags, and gets the double play. Great play by her. She tagged Fehrenbach, throws over the first in time. Central Michigan down to the last outs here in the 7th inning. If they don't score 2, we will be playing a 3rd game today here at Firestone Stadium. Bottom of the 7th inning here. 2-0 Miami on top of Central Michigan. Redhawks 3 outs away from forcing a 3rd game today at Firestone Stadium, and the pitch to Sexauer is outside for ball 1, and Jess Simpson has struck out 7 Chippewas, and again, Joey, you can't emphasize enough the importance of her contribution in this Redhawks team. The 1-0, chopped up the middle, picked up by Edwards. Quick throw to first, in time. Sexauer tried to slide in there, but couldn't do so in time. 1 down here in the 7th.
Designated player number 26, Rachel Hensel.
That's a great effort by 6-hour to try to get there ahead of the tag, but just didn't quite get in there, even though she tried the head first slide.
One down. Hensel steps in, 0 for 2 today. The pitch. Slapped down the third base line. 0-1 the count.
I think our merchandise garage took that one in the chin. That sounded like a big thud from over there.
I just keep laughing. Anna Bose is just playing hot potato down there right now, that third base line. The 0-1. That one's high, 1-1 the count. She has to listen to the broadcast all year. We've been mentioning how much you got to be aware down that third base line, and you just learned the hard way today. The 1-1 pitch from Simpson. Inside, just missed the corner, 2-1 the count.
Well, and these hitters turn on those inside pitches. That's generally what's going to happen if they get out in front of that pitch. You're going to get those screamers that are going to go foul and look out for the coach's box and certainly the camera people.
The 2-1. Outside corner for strike 2. 2-2 the count now. Chelsea DeLamiere on deck for the Chippewas if we reach her. The 2-2. Fouled back. Count stays at 2-2. Of course, you reach Chelsea. I'm referring to Corey, who's currently, in baseball terms or softball terms, in the hole. 2-2 count on Hensel. Simpson looks in. The 2-2 pitch. And it caught the bat. And it'll be foul ball. Count stays at 2-2. Just caught the inside handle of it. Hensel will get back into the box. The 2-2 pitch. Line drive in the left, and that will drop. McIntyre will get it back in, but Hensel's on with the single here with one down in the 7th.
Third baseman number 8, Chelsea DeLamiere.
Chelsea DeLamiere will step in. Looks like we'll have a pinch runner as well as number 12, 22, Lauren Bowman
Central Michigan
will
first
run.
base number 22, Lauren Bowman.
Well, it looks like the Chippewas, as usual, are going to just battle their way back into this game. 2 runs, may look like a large lead, but it certainly can get erased very quickly.
DeLamiere 0 for 2 today, struck out in the 5th. The third baseman for the Chippewas, representing the tie and run right now. She will dig in against Jessica Simpson. The pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 1-0 the count. Outfield playing a medium deep out there. The 0-1. That one's high. 1-1 the count. Hensel singled. Bowman running for her at first after Saxauer grounded out to start the inning. The 1-1. Inside corner. 1-2. Corey DeLamiere on deck. Simpson looks in. The 1-2 pitch. Swung out and missed, strike 3. 2 down here. Miami 1 out away from forcing the third game today.
The catcher number 5, Corey DeLamiere.
Corey DeLamiere will step in, popped out both times up. 8th strikeout for Miami. And Jessica Simpson, the MAC pitcher of the year, she gets one more strikeout will duplicate what she did earlier today with 9 Ks. Miami fans on their feet. The pitch. Chopped to short. Picked up by McChesney. Tagged second. And we will have a third game today, Joey.
Just an outstanding performance by Jessica Simpson, who just really did a great job of putting that team right on her back. She's had 18 strikeouts on the day. 17 strikeouts on the day. Just an incredible performance by the pitcher of the year. She got the hit she needed, the couple runs that she needed, and she shut the door on the Chippewas and has forced this second game, the third game that Miami will have to play today to claim this year's MAC title.
Can they duplicate the feat of Western Michigan a year ago? We will find out at 4 o'clock today as the Chippewas and the Redhawks will battle it out to see who will go on to the NCAA tournament. For Ian Tack and Joey Arietta, we'll see you back at 4 here at Firestone Stadium.